Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to talk about how Professor Dungeon Master is outrageously wrong about 2024 D&D. So he just did another video, and this video was 2024 D&D is in for a rough year, right? And he's telling you, hey, the new 2024 core rulebooks, 5i, 5th improved, still 5th edition, but improved. The correct term is 5i, in my humble opinion. So he's saying, oh, they're going to have a rough year. It's going to be bad because Dungeons & Dragons isn't cool anymore, right? And so, first of all, he comes at it from, and okay, so let's talk about what's happening here. So first of all, I don't believe Professor Dungeon Master is a grognard. He's grognard adjacent, right? He's like, oh, I'm a cool old guy, and boy, wasn't it better in the day, right? And you see, there's just a whole brigade of these guys, these grognards. Grognard literally means old complainer. Like, why on earth, anybody would own that? Good Lord, but people do, and so a lot of Professor Dungeon Master's friends are grognards, and he wants to appeal to them. He wants to be part of, oh, hey, remember everybody in the 80s and 90s when we played for 8 hours in our basement? It was so cool. You're like, dude, man, like that was then. This is now. Like, be excited about Dungeons & Dragons now. Don't clutch to your nostalgia, right? So he's a nostalgia clutcher, right? Oh, I need to care about this 4 years of D&D that was just perfect, and I need to make sure I just spit on everything that everybody's enjoying today, right? There's a whole brigade of them, right? Now, I don't think Professor Dungeon Master is fully bought in on that, but he is very adjacent, and he has a lot of friends who really, really like, just taking a dump on modern D&D, on D&D now, and just, oh, let's worship D&D then. So it's definitely a thing. So one of the things that this group wants to do is they want to say, one thing that really chaps their cheeks, that they're so furious about, is like, they're like, oh, D&D, 1E, D&D 2E, those, that's where it was at. That's where it was at, right? Beckby and Menser and Moldvay, that's when it was good. But everything sucks now. But then there's a little bee in their bonnet, because actually 4 people in the world are buying that old crap, blowing the dust off the covers and running it, and like 40 million people are buying D&D today, right? So they keep telling you, oh, this is better, but you're like, well, wait, you're old and crusty, right? So that means you're conservative, which means that, oh, wait, you don't care about feelings, right? We don't care about snowflakes, right? So feelings don't matter, just metrics. Well, guess what? Your 1E and your 2E don't sell, and 5E sells through the roof, right? So how does that work, that you worship something that doesn't perform like a special liberal progressive? Well, why do your politics break, old conservative, when the metrics don't show what you're saying is true, right? So they have this problem. So Professor Dungeon Master gets into it. He's like, oh, I need to tell you that 5E's not selling that well. And you're like, wait a second, where are you getting those numbers? And here's the truth. Nobody has the numbers. I don't know, but he doesn't know, right? I want to tell you that this is the biggest print run that's ever been done. I believe there's strong evidence of that. What's the evidence, right? Well, it's on every bookshelf, right? It's on Target bookshelves. It's on every Barnes & Noble bookshelf. It's on every FLGS bookshelf. It's flying off the shelves at Amazon, and it's being sold through Hasbro's own website, right? More places than and it has a digital copy, right? So the evidence supports what I'm saying. But do I have the numbers? I don't. I can't tell you it's the biggest print run. I can just tell you there's a lot of strong evidence that this is the biggest print run, physical print run, that's ever happened for any edition, right? Ever, right? But I can't prove it to you. And the thing is, he can't either, right? But he's like, oh, they said it's the fastest selling D&D product. They didn't say it was a book. Well, why did they say that? Because it's more than a book. Dungeons & Dragons, and this is what really frustrates me, right? These old guys want to pretend that D&D is one thing. It's not anymore. D&D is Funko Pops. D&D is Legos. D&D is a physical book. D&D is a digital book, right? D&D is blankets and socks, right? And D&D 1E and 2E aren't. They're not. Okay? Right? And so then he goes forward and in his videos, like, let me give you some evidence. Let me tell you how D&D isn't cool anymore. And D&D's not doing well. It's not going to do well this year. Look at my evidence, right? And who does he bring out to give his evidence? Mike Mearls. Now, who is Mike Mearls? Well, he is the guy. Mike Mearls was the lead designer of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. He defeated Monty Cook. Monty Cook fled off into the woods, right? Couldn't complete his work on 5e, but Mike Mearls did, right? He stayed, he completed the work. And he created a very much needed edition of Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition was so bad that there was a distinct possibility that Dungeons and Dragons was going to be swept away by Pathfinder and wouldn't exist. Mike Mearls rides it on a white horse, saves Dungeons and Dragons literally from non-existence. I honestly believe if Mike Mearls had not nailed 5th edition, Dungeons and Dragons would not exist today. I think he literally saved Dungeons and Dragons, right? So he comes in on, this is a big interview get, right? Like Professor Dungeon Master is getting to talk to Mike Mearls. But why is he getting to talk to Mike Mearls? Because today, Mike Mearls is the Moses of Dungeons and Dragons. He led the D&D community through the desert, but he didn't get to go into the promised land, right? That's where we are right now. Ridiculous. Professor Dungeon Master is spouting nonsense on his channel. Oh, D&D 24 is going to have a rough time. Is it? Oh, is Critical Role not meeting with Jeff Bezos right now to discuss their 3rd or 4th or 5th Dungeons and Dragons show going on to streaming? Did we not just get announced that there's going to be that? Do we not know that Stranger Things Season 5 is coming and is going to, exclamation point Dungeons and Dragons again? Did we not just get an announcement that Netflix is going to put in millions and millions of dollars with Sean Levy, one of the best entertainment executives in the world right now, right? Like, where's all this coming from? You had one conversation with Mike Mearls, and he says that it's going to do bad, but all the news doesn't matter? It's absurd. What he's saying is literally absurdity, right? We're positioned to, and everything I just mentioned is happening not on any OSR or any indie, right? Oh, they're like, oh, the OSR and the indies are cool. Well, why is Mike Mearls saying that now? Well, because he's the Moses. He didn't get to go into Canaan. He didn't get to go into the promised land. He's sitting in the desert, right? So Mike Mearls had we have one every month. There was a D&D controversy and Mike Mearls was out, right? And he got replaced with Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins, right? And now Mike Mearls is just, I didn't even learn the name of it. He's working on some stupid indie or some stupid OSR that absolutely will not put even a dent into D&D's side. Nobody cares about it. No reason to even bother learning the name. It's nothing, right? Now, we owe Mike Mearls for saving Dungeons and Dragons, right? But his work on his stupid OSR and indie is why I can assure you, Professor Dungeon Master, 2024's D&D is not doing well. It's just going to outsell my game by 1,000 or 10,000 fold, right? Like the most ridiculous nonsense, right? So his evidence is a disgruntled Hasbro worker saying, oh, I don't like D&D. That's his evidence that 2024 D&D is not going to do well, right? But I just told you 3 things, and there's 10 beyond that. Right? Trust and believe 2024 D&D is going to outperform the entire OSR and the entire industry combined, right? And D&D is quite cool. Well, actually, you know what? D&D is doing great and it's doing phenomenal. And I truly believe that it just had the largest print run ever. Oh, when Professor Dungeon Master is assuring you that the future of Dungeons and Dragons is digital, even though there's strong evidence they just literally had the strongest print run ever, physical, ever. Never. There has never been a time in history when it was on every FLGS shelf, every single Target shelf, every single, Barnes and Noble, ever. There's never been a time, right? Like, it's literally in more places, and I believe it's moving, right? So the idea that its future is digital is absurd. Professor Dungeon Master could not be more wrong, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.